Hey guys, doing something a little different today. Unfortunately, I have an engagement that will take me away, so I'm not playing in the 100 card singleton event, but I am going to commentate on some of the matches that we can catch before I have to go to my engagement. And maybe I won't have to go at all, so maybe we'll just be commenting through the whole thing. Um, Either way, I think this will at least give some folks kind of a taste of the format, and unfortunately, won't be playing, so you won't see our decision making. But we'll get to kind of talk through with a lot more hidden information other folks' plays. So we see Golden Lynn has. Oh no, okay. So Golden Lynn's going down on cards. Sung is stay with her 7. I assume Sung is on her bug deck, which is actually what I was going to play today. I don't know how similar her deck is to ours. But it's just standard bug value deck. Has the permission capabilities of a blue deck. The green, really just for efficient threats, and the black for removal. Really just, black green. It's a rock based deck with permission, basically. It's a grindier deck, value deck. Golden appears to be on some sort of white weenie strategy. You see an Isamaru, Hound of Kanda. Just a strong start. Obviously, Sung will not have Caracas in her deck, I presume. Some folks do play that card regardless of playing white or not. I don't know if that's right or not. I tend to like to have lands that actually cast my spells too. It appears she has a play here, though. She would not be cracking her Scalding Tarn, I presume, otherwise. I think we can also safely assume she doesn't have a shuffle effect in hand. Otherwise, she would have saved it. Grim Flare. I doubt we'll see this card trade, but it probably also depends on what Golden Lyn plays. I think, and this is not a. I think we'll see what Golden Lyn does here. If he plays a creature out main 1, which he may do, I don't know, then that'll inform it whether she's going to block or not. I believe she does play Toxic Deluge and maybe Pernicious Deed in the deck, which are going to be strong ones against his deck. So I think unless she has one of them in hand, she's going to be want to save her Grim Flare so she can filter her top deck. Um, I wouldn't even be shocked if she has removal and she just waited to use it here. Because the deck does run a decent bit of spot removal. It just has to, because the mass removal in black, it tends to be isolated to like what? Like Damnation, Consume the Meek, Toxic Deluge. I mean, Damnation, Toxic Deluge being the best of them. I guess now you have Bantu's Last Reckoning. I don't think that's 100 card singleton playable unless you're playing like Mono Black Control, which I don't think is per se a great deck. All right, well, that card's pretty good against Damnation at least. If she has removal, I think she'll probably fire it off at that first because that card does kind of get tricky, especially if you're playing like something like Pernicious Deed. Not a bad 2-drop. I think he would have been better off with Thalia, but she could even trade her Grimflayer with it. I wouldn't be shocked if she attacks in and sees that he'll block with his Selfless Spirit. The trample effect will allow him to get through or her to get through some damage past the Selfless Spirit if she does attack. But she may also just have removal, and she just wanted to get her threat down first. Vault of Whispers is interesting. That denotes that she likely plays Trinket Mage in deck, which means she probably also has an Engineered Explosives package and possibly a Pithing Needle or Relic of Progenitus. I think this is fine for her. This is a card for a card and allows her to filter her top deck to kind of get after the cards we were talking about, as well as get rid of a threat that is going to allow her many for one card advantage through Wrath effects um, later on down the road, not to accrue as much card advantage. Um, so I think if I'm thinking correctly, I think what she's probably trying to set up is a situation where Golden Lyn floods the board with little threats, gets through a decent portion of damage, probably down to 10 life for Sung. Because she's playing a white deck, he's not going to have reach. So she's looking to, stay around 4 to 6 cards and put him on like 1 to 0 cards, force him to top deck, and then just use point removal from that point forward, as well as efficient threats to close out the game. That's, I think, how I would assess the situation is I'd want to win. From Golden Lyn, White Weenie is kind of an all-in strategy. It's a little more focused. So he needs cards like Hallowed Spirit Keeper. This is probably going to be like, what, a Goyf, maybe? 3 card types, plus creature up there. So Goyf is good enough to block the Isamaru. She maybe should be leaving up counter magic, though. Okay, Scavenging Ooze, very, very good one in this matchup. This is a Duress or Thoughtseize or Inquisition. Inquisition's most likely, I think. Oh, Reanimate, cool. So that card traded and now gets to come back. And the damage, I think, is going to be, frankly, quite irrelevant. I think the Vendilion Click was a good one to put in the bin. I don't like Vendilion Click in this matchup because the cards that Golden is running are generally replaceable outside of like sword effects and like universal pump effects like the anthems. So Ismaru should not be that big a deal. Obviously, Grimflayer is not a card you generally want to block with. You want to attack and force a trade with it. But Scavenging Ooze, I tend to think of as a deal breaker in the White Weenie matchup because it gains life and also just gets large. Banishing Light's got to be something she's probably happy to see though, because it's a 3-mana card removing a 2-mana card, which is great to see because the reason that White Weenie is so good is because of the efficiency of its cards, and if he's spending 3 mana to get rid of a 2-mana spell, I think she tends to be okay with that. Although both players are on 3. No attack is interesting. It denotes that he probably wants to block here. With 3 card types, though, I feel like it's probably pretty easy for her to get the 5th type. Yes, yeah, Deep Diabolic Edict, which makes it a 4/4 now. It also gets rid of the blocker, so which is nice. I mean, that's not bad for her. It means she's kind of starting to get into the race mode now. Um, she possibly has a Force Spike or something, although I don't know if it's going to be useful here. She left open blue mana. I don't know how relevant that is. If she has discard, she'll pop it here. Unless it's like a Duress. Maybe Duress she won't. Although Duress is probably not bad here. Just do the standpoint that he hasn't played a lot, right? So like he's played a 1 or 2, then did nothing. So I bet you he does probably actually have a lot of reactive cards in hand, which is kind of awkward for White Weenie because like the reactive stuff you only want to draw like 1 or 2 of because you want the rest of your cards to be threats so you can close the game out quickly and then like use cards like Banishing Light to kill their much bigger threats, like Worm, Coil Engines. So like this card right here is actually a great card. I don't know how good it's going to be because like point removal is still a thing. If he has a 1-drop, he'll put it. Oh, he doesn't have it. All right, so right now he's light on creatures, which means that Sung, who put I think with 0 cards in the bottom, has a Planeswalker here. I think what we'll see is a Jace or a Garruk here. Is kind of what I'm feeling. That could be wrong, but she's gonna be more loath to play it now with the Smuggler's Copter. So if she has removal, she'll probably hold on playing it because Smuggler's Copter is essentially like a haste 3/3 flying that also just randomly loots too. Card is disgusting. Um, does she bin anything? Doesn't bin a thing. Okay, well she's happy with her draw. This could be all right. Obstinate Bailoff, just a big thing. And that's actually probably in this case. Oh, Mana Tithe, yuck, yuck. That's good. I mean, we kind of knew that he had reactive cards. You have Daze. Daze would be sweet. Nope. Okay. We kind of know he has reactive cards. Like, so you don't play Smuggler's Copter. Maybe you do. This could be like an Elspeth or something now. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Like I feel like okay, well, he either drew the threat or he had the land in hand. I think he probably drew that threat. That's a good one. It can do just a crap ton of damage out of nowhere. Um, if okay, nothing doesn't activate the Smuggler's Copter. Very interesting to me. I don't know what that means. I think you're supposed to attack there. Um, this feels like an Abrupt Decay. I think okay, just go for the throw, which is just as good. He could activate the Smuggler's Copter, but like blocking the Grimflayer does absolutely nothing. All right, Brave the Elements. Saying black, I would assume. But the thing is here, she can still attack in and trample over for 2, which I think she'll do. Okay, Sylvan Library is fine. I mean, she's going to be able to filter her top deck, but she's kind of already got the Grimflayer. I think you still attack here, actually. Although I don't know. No, you probably do. You probably... No, I guess not. She's more concerned about a life total, which is fair. I mean, if he top decks any threat, then she can get in for... So how she does that? Okay, so he did top deck the threat. So he activates the Smuggler's Copter in response to the Silverblade Paladin trigger, giving double strike to the Smuggler's Copter, which gets him for 6, putting her down to 7, and forces a bad block, not a bad block, but a block on the Silverblade Paladin. Okay, well, he didn't do that, which is interesting to me. I don't know if it's right. I presume she intends on blocking here, though. Figure of Destiny, if you weren't aware, it was a very good draw for him. Does not attack. Interesting. Interesting. Well, she's kind of boxed into, I think, attacking here. He's basically saying that he wants to block by doing that. Yep. Make it a 2-2. Well, hopefully she has some fortune. I mean, like, what gets him here? Like, a Toxic Deluge is still great. Um, I think you do definitely do a pre-combat because you don't really want to lose the Grim Flare if you don't have to. And it can also filter bad cards off the top. Fetch lands would be strong if she has weak stuff. But 3 cards in hand to his 0. She's kind of where she wants to be here, I think. But Silverblade, I mean, it's top deck driven, so both those cards, both those creature cards are spooky. And any creature off the top makes Smuggler's Copter live. So she's looking to trade here. She will still get her 2 damage over the top of the thing, which puts him down to 9. Maybe she has a Golgari Charm, which would actually, okay. Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. So he blocks here and kind of gets blown out because she kills the figure, forces essentially a chump out of the Silver Blade, still gets 2 damage and down to 9, puts him back off the top deck. I think he's probably fairly live to draw. Any creature in the deck probably does it. Basically, the only things that punish him are land. I don't know why you bother doing that. That does nothing. It's tapped still. Can't block as a creature. So she gets to filter off the junk if she has any, but she hasn't filtered a lot of stuff off here. So she's liked her top deck. I think we just ditched a Boras Stronghold. Why that went to the top of the library, I do not know. It's bizarre. It should be in the bottom. Okay, Eternal Witness, probably getting back. Maybe the Obstinate Baloth. I could see that or Fatal Push, yeah. That or removal. But, yeah, being fair, I don't think life gain is really necessary here. She's got him on the ropes. She's a 1 card we know is Fatal Push. Which means that, okay, he missed. So either has removal or a land in hand. My guess would be land because I don't see a reason to let her untap and find counter magic with 2 blue mana off the Sylvan Library. Although he hasn't seen it yet, but I would presume with a Vendilion Click and a Ponder in deck, like she's got some counter magic, and I know for a fact she's played against this deck. Okay, at 3. Now the Fatal Push is live. His expend his only counter spell, which I presume is Mana Tithe. I don't think there's other white counter magic. That's also a time-shifted card, so kind of falls in one of those weird categories. And here, what do we see? Kitchen Finks. Okie doke. More life, never a bad thing. Fatal Push still up, so this should be game. This should be game. Okay, well, Precinct Captain, 2-2 with first strike. But that's probably too little too late. She'll just Fatal Push at end step and say good game. Or right now. He's already blown the Brave the Elements. I mean, I guess there are like cards like Stave Off that he could have. I mean, he can activate that, but it's kind of just masturbatory, as you will, or if you will. Yep, you get him for 3. That's moderately interesting. I guess it allows you to play another creature card. Okay, well, there are no cards I can think of that do it from here. There's no instant speed balance. Imbalance not being a card. Legal in the format, I don't think that's viable. I can't think. Well, I guess you could have Restore Balance and like cascade into it. Nope. Obviously game. All right. Cool. Well, let's check out who else is playing, guys. We've got Booze, Mongoose, and ML Berlin. Let's see what these gentlemen are on. I know ML was playing probably Bug of some sort too. Looks like they're in the board process because I know he borrowed a Liliana and... Oh, I'm sorry, not Bug. Maybe playing 5-color again. Let's see what these two are up to. Sugar Daddy is probably on a brew. Well, it would appear everyone is in boards. Let's check out how many players there are today. I don't know if we'll be able to see or not. Active events, current standings, not a lot. So there are 6 players total. Okay, so all of the players are in boards right now. It looks like they're all playing probably mid-range decks of some sort. Um, let's see what's going on here. I think, depending on what we see from these matches, I think we're going to go back and watch the other one because I think it is an interesting game. I think it's an interesting match. We'll see what these guys are on, though. It may be more interesting. I do not know note who won the first match. All right, blue-green is my assumption out of Boo's Mongoose. Blue-green opposition, or mid-range, whatever you want to call it. I call it opposition. Crows and Verge, what does that denote? Denotes a high-value, mana-intensive deck. Likely 5-color Planeswalkers out of him. Selesnya Guildmage, maybe not. Maybe he's banned. No mana, though. Okay, alright. Wonder, okay, he has another 1-drop. Well, a Wrath effect is going to blow him out quite heavily if he's playing against... Ooh, he's playing Abzan? Yeah, looks like he's playing Abzan. Alright, interesting. Interesting. If ML is playing the deck I think he is, then Booz has kind of set himself up, I think. But he's got a lot of mana. If he gets a Planeswalker down, then it makes this all right. I don't think this card is good enough for this format, to be honest. Selesnya Guildmage. It's definitely interesting, but I don't think it is good enough. Let's see what these gentlemen are on real quick, if they're done boarding. Okay, a Dread of Night. That's probably good. Versus what? Mardu? Okay. Interesting. This Mardu deck, I think, won last week. I think it does take a bit of luck for it to win, though. I don't know. I have to see the deck more. I looked at the list briefly. I don't think it's the strongest of lists, but then again, what do I know? All right, let's see if they're done boarding yet. Nope, they're evidently still in the thick of it. So we've got a bunch of hate cards. So C4 can basically not play white spells. Especially if he's on that little mana, and he's got a defender that allows him to gain life, which does not seem like it's going to be relevant against the deck that ML's playing. Painful Truths, I guess allows him to draw into more land. Sin Collector, uncastable, and dies. Well, not uncastable, but like takes 6 mana to cast. I mean, it's a Grave Titan at that point, essentially, for basically it's Thoughtseize for a Grave Titan. Or for Grave Titan mana. Okay, so we have Liliana. Probably just hit his hand. Especially if Sugar Daddy's hand is garbage, he'll just start hitting hand. All right, that's so since he had that, that makes more sense. This card right here is just a one-stop shop. It wrecks house. If he has the ability to vindicate it, then he could probably win. If he can like vindicate it or Maelstrom Pulse it, then he's not in bad shape. If he cannot, that card will just wreck him. Yeah, he agreed. He made him discard a card that is extremely uncastable. All right, Coalition Relic, so ramping up a little bit. He discarded a mountain, so he needs something to go on here. Okay, well, we have mana to do either of those 2 cards, or I guess Utter End would also work here. On 8 cards, so 2/2 is 2. Yeah, if it's like Maelstrom Pulse on the Elspeth and Wrath the following turn without a Planeswalker being dropped, that should be good game. We're very close to it. You know, of course, that is also predicated on him dropping a threat as well. If he does nothing, the game is likely over. All right, well, there's a threat. So got to answer it. Oh, he killed this thing. I wonder, I guess he just wanted to get this thing down. I don't know. Because the Lava Claw Reaches can still kill it. Yeah. I don't know on that. They just have an answer to it. Could just be a Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshare, something like that. Okay, so he got the Elspeth, had the Other End, like we talked about. Now, if he does not have, do you have a Planeswalker? No. Okay. Well, he's going to beat down, then get Wrathed. So he's at 1 card to 6. Is that dead? That may be dead. Yep, exactly 0, Xaxes. So very fortunate. Because I think if ML had another turn, the game was over. So I was ragging on that card a bit. But, you know, he had the draw for it. I don't think that's a common draw, to be frank, but, you know, it worked out for him just fine there. Okay, well, this is generally not looking good for her. This card is very fast. And my guess would be most of her removal has a black mana symbol in it somewhere. Um, and most of her blockers have green mana symbols in it. So getting rid of this thing is going to require a True Name Nemesis, probably, I think, or a Wrath Effect. Wrath Effect or that. Otherwise, I don't think this is looking very good. Interesting card. So I talked this card up a bit, and I don't think I've been as impressed by it. You know, I don't know. I'm not sure if it or the energy one are better. I mean, the energy one attacks for 2 every turn. I forget the card's name. It's like Sylvan Channeler. I don't remember. It's like some elf thing that uses energy, gives you 2 energy and like makes mana for you, makes any colored symbol for you. But it's a 2/2 off the bat. All right. Do you have removal? All right. Celestial Purged what? Oh, the Gloom. Okay, and blows that thing up. I'm shocked he did not. I guess he has an attacker to get rid of the Liliana. All right, well, you plus here, and then I guess you just lose your Liliana to the Lava Claw Reaches. That stinks. Here. Well, we could see him cast another creature card or activate Mutavault, send Smuggler's Copter plus Mirror Crusader into the fray. Um, that seems fine to me. I don't think she's going to mind that much. I don't think she missed a land drop last turn. This is turn 4. She was on the draw this game because she lost. There's no way he gave her the draw. I mean, Stud of War, fine. You know, unless she's another 1-drop, I think. I think if she's another 1-drop, she saves it, actually. Yeah, I think she just pumps the Stud one time and sends in for 7. Basically half the life total. Next turn, dead. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yeah. So, pump. Oh, doesn't pump the Stud. Wonder why. Must have, like, either misplayed or must have, like, protection spell of some sort. I can't think of the one. All white creatures get protection from a color of your choice. That one. All right, that doesn't really save her here. I mean, I guess it keeps her alive for another turn, allows her to block the Stud. Or he could just have the card we're talking about, pump the Stud, and then attack in. Pump the Stud, play another land, activate Mutavault, play that card, activate Smuggler's Copter off Mutavault, attack him for lethal, naming white, more than likely. I guess that protects you against the most. Not white, I'm sorry, green. Okay, so just getting in there. Ooh, there's a Diabolic Edict in the graveyard. Oh, thanks, okay. Got it. Huh. Alright, him. Get the rest of the hand down, I guess. Alright, Burst Lightning for 2, nugging out. Council Judgment's not bad to get out of the hand, but I kind of feel like I'm just going to continue to activate unless he has a better card to play, Tithe. Not up on land, so he just gets 1 land out of it. Activate the Lava Claw, send. Yeah, I guess you just try to clock. I mean, Shug is either player can draw out of this. This is a weird game, kind of. Okay, so this interesting play. I wonder why he must have another play here. I don't feel like she is favored to win this whatsoever. 6 life. Huh. What's another pro green card? Yeah, I don't know here. Okay, yeah, Goldlin wins. That makes sense to me. Okay, warmth. You know, I don't really think this is a race. That card seems kind of like a poor choice to me to put in the deck. Maybe he has a ton of burn, but like it seems like he's more of a mid-range deck. So like the life gain, I think is going to be superfluous, kind of a waste of a card in my opinion. But you know, who knows? Who knows? All right, so I don't know who won that. Probably Booze Mongoose because it seemed like his deck was faster, and if the third game ended that fast, then I make an assumption. Don't assume their board time to be that long. Could be, but well, this should be lethal unless he has two cards in hand. If he has a kill spell and he goes all in on this lava car reaches and gets it blown out, then that's not good for C4. I assume you pump this thing all the way and just go for the win. Um, that's very odd to me. I don't know why you don't just go for it. I mean, if he has the kill spell, it's not getting any better. Terminate. Yep. Yeah, that makes absolutely zero sense to me. I guess it gives you more options than a turn, but like, Suge just time walked himself. It feels like that was like a very rapid F6. Although maybe he just saw his card and just, no, there's no way. Like that decision cycle, I don't think was that quick. Alrighty. We have a threat. A planeswalker threat, it feels like. Nope, just trying to burn him out. Um, well, that's some damage, I guess. What have you got, man? Do you have a way to win? Burn's not going to do it here. Oh, there's a Glory Bringer. The Bringer of the Glory. Presume you just get in there and attack. Well, Glory Bringer's not a bad clock. It's not as good as like the other dragons, but it's not horrendous either. One thing, turn one. It's very interesting to me. Obviously kept either probably like 3 lands, 2/2 drops, and a 3 drop, and maybe something else. Wall Blossom's pretty cool. I wonder if it's a board card or if it's main. I don't see it that often. I wonder if that means she has Natural Order in her deck. Um, I tend to think of that card as more of like a Rexer or like Natural Order style card. It does buy you good time against aggro. It buys her a ton of time, and that's Suung I think is going to be benefited in the long game. One with her deck and two with her play style. Well, there's a flyer that gets around it. Okie doke. Well, Suge is having the answers. Well, what do we see here? Possibly nothing. Hold up counter magic. Or she could just spike this thing right away. I'm going to walk away just for a second, guys, and check my phone. Make sure the person depending on me is not texted me. That play makes sense, by the way. She is possibly holding a damnation or some other means of wiping if she's doing that. Okay, she's got to be happy to see Sword of Body and Mind. I actually don't mind the swords because they're not mana efficient and they allow you to kind of blow the other player out. Although she obviously is out of removal because this thing is getting to attack. That's not good. Or she was hoping to board wipe, so she let it stay alive. That's probably more likely. Block the 3/4, let the 1 in, down to 19. May just see a board wipe here for 1 card. Obviously going to kill her wall as well. Oh, cool. I do like Reclamation Sage main in these kind of decks. Just a grindier kind of. It's almost like playing Rock. Is how I look at it. All right, the other game wrapped up. I guess we missed that one. Hmm. Don't know who top decked better first. Well, that kind of stinks. I mean, she can't chump. I think she would have chumped. She may still chump, actually. She's at 4 cards. If we see a chump here, I think it is more than likely that she has a Wrath effect. I kind of feel like the way she's played this, she's either set herself up to draw one or she has one. She does not chump. All right, she's chumping. Okay. I think that said, I think she's kind of holding on to a Toxic Deluge or something. But she may not have to pop it this next turn. She's getting hit for 5 next turn without any buff of any sort, down to 13, which is probably fine, especially if she can get like 1 to 2 more cards. Because right now she's going to stay at card parity due to Golden Lid missing a land drop. She's down to 4. A lot of mana, though. Lots of mana. Wonder if she runs Crop Rotation. Bazooka Bog is definitely an interesting one. This could be Damnation, or it kind of feels like it probably is. I can't see her playing a Planeswalker onto this board. All right, Tessiger. Well, then now I'm thinking she probably just doesn't have it. Although Tiger does kind of allow her to, it allows her to block out the Burmaz, block the Archetype, get blown out by that. I wonder if he just drew that. It's hard telling. Okay, well, if you have it, it's kind of now or never. Like, I don't think you want him to make another land drop and pump that thing into a 4/4. That becomes problematic. I don't know if she uses it or not. I don't know if she's as sold on it as I am, but if she has the 1-mana enchantment, Dread of Night, that would be pretty solid here. Well, First Strike debunks that. All right, Tusk is fine, but I guess it can trade with the First Strike thingy. Which tends to be pretty good. Huh. All right, well, yep, like we said, he drew the land because he's been stuck on 3 for a while. We'll pump Figure to a 4/4, which means that it's now her blocks are likely. I don't think she has the Wrath. She's kind of looking for it. She'll block the wall on the Brahmaz, block the Archetype if it attacks. Yuck. Yuck, 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 yuck. So I guess, Wall Brahmaz 1/1. Yuck. This is not looking good for her. Takes 7 down to 11. Not good. Not very good at all. She really needs to find a way to board wipe, or at least spot remove the Archetype. The Archetype is a problem here. I don't think the card is great, but it's doing some wonders here. More land. Well, it looks like she's flooded. Quite horrifically. I wouldn't even be shocked if we see her pop the Wooded Foothills. But she's on 2 cards to 5. He's obviously drawn gas as he needed to win this game. Yeah, I don't see how at this point she gets out of this. But if he just drops Geddon here, what does she have in hand? Counter magic? I think that's most likely. If she had any way to dig, she would have done it by now. If she had more creatures, she'd probably play them out. If she had a Wrath effect, she would have played it. So my guess is possibly one land, possibly one counterspell, possibly situational counterspell. Um, so two counterspells and or a or and or a land. Yeah, not good. Okay, Fiend Hunter. Well, she may just be dead this turn. If she has the counter magic that we think, though, she'll just get this. She does not. Very interesting. That's a weird one to. I guess it forces a bad chump on the Bramaz, but she won't block the Bramaz. She'll block the figure because, I mean, at this point, since she can't block favorably, it's all about damage. And she has to block one of them. He could attack with the Archetype at this point, too, because it's 11 damage coming through. If she blocks the Archetype to get value, take away the first strike, she's still going to take lethal, so she really has to block. All right, she has something. She has to block. I think Archetype attacking makes the most sense in this situation, because, I mean, if he blocks it, like, what's it going to do, you know? She's going to save some life. Okay. And fire up basically everything to stay alive. I guess she does what? Um, I don't even know here, guys. It's not good. Um, okay, well, knock out 2/1/1s. I think, I don't know. I almost like, what does this put her to? I put her to 5, so it means her ounce still exists. She can still draw her outer in Toxic Deluge and do it for 4, go to 1, and kill everything on the board, and have a man land and a 3/3 left, plus a wall. Well, did you draw it? Well, this is really the turn she either concedes or slams it. I don't think there's much in between. This is why we. That's why when I play Sultai, I do play a lot of White Weenie or Death and Taxes Hate. I very much so like Dread of Night. Very much so don't mind Virtue's Ruin. I think they're both phenomenal cards in this matchup because there's many for one card advantage. Um, she's not conceded yet, so she evidently has an out or has a way to stay alive. I don't know. But at this point, I don't even know what it takes here. Instant speed, consume the meek. I don't know if she runs consume the meek, but that would be pretty epically great here. It would blow everything up, except for Thragtusk. Um, she can block this turn and still take lethal, unless he forgets to attack with the Archetype, in which case she goes to 1, and then cannot cast Toxic Deluge anymore, and is hoping to 1-out Damnation. Um, yeah. If he plays this right, she's dead, I think. 3 cards is a lot, but I don't see how she gets out of this pickle. And he's either drawn no gas or has drawn all gas and is just playing around Wrath. Okie doke. Huh. Yeah, you just need to. This is very weird. He's playing this very weirdly. He's giving her a lot of outs, which is going to be frustrating for her because if she does lose to this, it's frankly it's just poor variance. Because I don't think he's playing this right. I think he needs to slam everything in there, um, and win. Just simply win. She's gonna go to 2 this time around, and she's got another turn to draw. Um, she obviously has to chump both of those and, just lose her card, lose her land, and lose her Thragtusk, but get a 3/3 back. Ooh, do you have some? Oh, nice. Okay, okay. Well, that's a blowout. So she's still alive. She's at 2 life, blows this out, gets the Brahmaz, gets the figure. That is nasty. Gets a 3/3, but is still kind of dead. Does she have a Wrath after this? Well, this card right here is a beating. Now the question is, do you have a Wrath? Or a way to gain a lot of life? Okay, no, that's very unfortunate because like Golden Lyn, like, dude, you should have won that. like, you should have won that probably a turn ago. You just want to slam with all of them because he missed 2 damage the turn that he did not attack with the 2/2 the archetype. Um, and that's a shame to lose that way because I don't think that was optimally played, but I don't know. I don't know. You know, I can see the need to like retain value and like not want to lose cards, but the cards are frankly irrelevant if the game is over. That's kind of the whole theory I think behind aggro. Is that cards can be quantified in the volume of damage they do as opposed to how many more cards they allow you to acquire, more possibilities. So it's ending the requirement for possibilities, vice possibilities. So interesting. All right, we'll go on a quick pause, guys, and the next set of matches should be up soon. All right, guys, it appears that round 2 is started here. I think this should be an interesting matchup. So it's Mardu versus White Weenie. I think Mardu is going to be favored because I think he'll have generally more sweepers and a lot of point removal too, so he doesn't like just get beat to death in the early game. Kind of like what we saw in the matchup that Sung had. She just failed to find her mass removal and got beat to death. Um, plus like stuff like Pyroclasm, Whip Flare are all realities for this deck. Timely Reinforcements, also a reality. Just main deck, when you see that and you're in White Winnie, you're just like, well, I am effed because my 2/1s are now invalidated and my opponent has just gone up by, 4. They've actualized 4 life on top of their starting life total. That's pretty horrific if you didn't know that already. Double block here. I guess he probably has like a protection spell. Um, I'll be right back, guys. Sounds like someone's texting me. Yep, there you go. Brave the Elements. Go figure. Alrighty. Oh yeah, Flame Tongue Kafus abound. Well, Thalia is a good one though. That's a card that could definitely gain some leverage in this matchup. I wouldn't be surprised if he just trades the Kabu for it. Yep, that makes sense. 2 for 1. Even though it's a 1-drop, but I mean it's 4 mana to trade it for 2 1-drops. I think that's still fine. Um, Chainer's Edict. Yeah. This is why I think Mardu is going to be darn near. Mardu was just great against creature decks. Like it's not. It can be decent against planeswalkers as well. Really just because it's permanent based strategies. Now, what it languishes against is counter based, it's permission based strategies. because, you know, decks that run fewer creature cards tend to invalidate it rather rapidly. Um, so I'm going to have to break contact with you guys probably in about 20 to 30 minutes to go do what was keeping me from playing today. This is going to be an odd matchup. Wrath Planeswalker deck versus Sung's deck. And actually, I don't know who's favored in it, to be honest. That's not funny. I don't know what she means. Phyrexian Tower. Interesting. I didn't really know there was a sub-theme for aristocrats in this deck. Gerard's Verdict. That's a beating. I doubt he has any more lands. He's ditching 2 real cards. Yeah, this is why Mardu is just gonna beat the living crap out of this deck, I think. Well, and it's probably justified because like all he has to do is land 1 solid threat. Yeah, this deck is just annoying as hell. Like ML, this deck is the most annoying deck ever to play against. It's just not very fun to play against. I mean, it's like playing against a deck that just blows up lands. Yeah, it just blows up creatures. It doesn't really try to progress the board state. It's a very slow deck. Um, very attritional, very based around critter-based strategies. All right, so we found out. So the strategy I hate the most is post. I hate post. Sung obviously hates planeswalkers, but I believe she is playing permission. Maybe not a lot. Maybe not as much as we do in our soul tie deck. Well, it would appear that Golden Lyn is rallying forward to prevent the most damage. Okay. Yeah, ML's deck is all value. The best way to attack the deck is its mana base. It is very dependent upon it. Um, Damnation. Okay, well, game over. That's the card that I believe Sung was looking for last time. Well, there is a very good card. Do you have a counterspell? Or do you have like an option of Baloth in hand that you can just like flip and then counter a Path to Exile or some other random, one mana removal? I don't think he runs 2 mana removal. She allows it. She may have option of Baloth in hand or something like that. That would be the best case. Or she doesn't have anything. That's also possible. Spell Snare. Yeah, it's not a card that I think is going to be great in this matchup. I'm trying to think of like what good 2-drops he actually runs. Not many, I don't think. Doesn't run any creatures in the deck. What do we have here? Oh, Abrupt Decay. Cool. Well, she had an answer for it. That's good. It means it's just not going to run wild, because that card can run wild. It is probably the second best Planeswalker, in my opinion, of all time. Jace the Mind Sculptor being the best. I don't know what the third best is. I mean, it's possibly one of the Garuks. No. I'm sorry. It's Elspeth. 4-mana Elspeth is probably the next best. The most powerful is, I mean, definitely like Ugin or Karn, or 6-mana Elspeth, but the best, I think, are the 3 and 4-mana ones. They're just so much more realistic to cast, and they can go in a lot more decks, so they're very flexible cards. 2 blue mana is relevant because, and she may have been hunting for that, because it means that she has better counter magic up at this point, like true counter spells, maybe a dismiss. I think the only thing we're going to see her dismiss is he going to fire up the land? He may fire up the land and get it killed. She runs a lot of removal, and like you don't have creatures, so she's going to have removal in hand. Like I think this is folly. She's going to wait for it to tap because she doesn't want him to like randomly play a planeswalker in his first main after she kills this thing when it's not tapped. Yeah, I don't like this play. This is like a fatal push. Yeah. Fatal push is awesome against manlands, by the way, if you're not familiar with it. Alright, just dismember. So she does have the 2-mana counterspell. We guessed right. She was hunting for the extra blue. Although, I think there she... I mean, I guess the life total is not relevant. Not that relevant, this matchup. Um, Passes it back. So, obviously, permission heavy draw. Although ML is pretty set up to have his top deck treat him well here. We know that she at least has one counterspell. Okay, so she has Mystic Confluence in hand. I don't think she would do that for Force of Will, because I think she'll want to be able to counter 2 spells. Mystic Confluence is the card she has, though. I'm almost positive. Or she's just mind gaming him, and in turn mind gaming us. But if I saw my opponent do that on 5 cards the turn she does it, I would think that and she's been holding up the blue before, even spending the life. She's either next leveling me, or she's all right, cycling that, or she is. There's no way. I don't think she's holding a Force of Will at that point. Because I think she's holding up multiple counter spells. After she took the damage off Dismember, it was obviously relevant for her to keep up. Counterspell, Deprive, anything that costs 2 blue to cast. Maybe 3. No, only 2. So she has literal Counterspell in hand. I don't think she's going to run Deprive in this deck, but she might. And now she has Mystic Confluence. Those are 2 of her 7 cards. 6 at this point. Okay, Jace. So she goes shields down on the Mystic Confluence, which I am assuming very strongly she has in hand, which makes sense to me because I don't know. Well, actually, maybe not. I don't know if I play the Jace into that because he's gonna have removal. Like he plays a lot of removal. He can just rat the board. This is abrupt decay. No. It's a pernicious deed. Well, if she runs stifle, and she has it, she allows us to resolve. And I think if I'm her, I'm fine with him playing this and blowing it up right now. She's getting to a point though where she could actually start casting real threats out, and still leaving up her counter magic because she has 2-mana counter magic. I think is evident. All right, no stifle. She could have reanimate or something like that though. All right, 3 visits, random, cool, okay. What's going on in this other matchup? Yeah, C4 wins with Elspeth. Yeah, this is like one of the best control win cons, and I think he's very much so on a control-based strategy. That matchup is not very interesting to me, though. I think it's very lopsided. I think this one has more cat and mouse to it. And hopefully we can see it to its completion before I have to leave. If we cannot, I'm debating just leaving it running with no commentary. That card's a game breaker. Yeah, you may as well just concede there. She's got Counterspell plus, all right, Terminus. Well, she'll counter this with the Glen Alondra, I would assume. And then he'll be forced to cast a secondary Wrath. Because he used a Wrath effect on the J, so I don't think he has point removal, or he has point removal that he wants to save for Planeswalkers. Yep, she uses that. Has still a generic counterspell up, but he only runs 1 creature in this deck, and it's Magistar of Worth. So Oath of Liliana. Probably just allow it to happen. Yeah, you just allow that to happen, and then if he casts another Planeswalker, I don't know, man. I think you let that happen. May have like a Spell Pierce in hand. So what do we think her hand is? Mana Confluence, Spell Pierce, Counterspell. I think she has a double blue counterspell of some sort. All right, Nature's Lore is irrelevant, I think. And that card's perfect. That's a threat. Not a very fast one, but it ships. And it cycles itself. So it's, you know, I think it's fine here. Um, she's 5 up. Well, really 6. If she wants to utilize the Phyrexian Tower. So I think, all right, he passes it back. He's just waiting to draw a threat. The problem with his deck is going to be that he needs to, like, his threats are going to cost so much mana. All right, well, he's got this nonsense he's going to do. This is how this deck gets timed out, too, though. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to finish watching this entire event, so it'll be interesting to see who takes it down. It looks like it's going to be C4R1S with his Mardu deck. I think some of it due to favorable pairing. Although, I don't know if he faced ML or not. Not sure. Someone may have dropped, or the other matches went quickly. She'll burn his clock up. I think what'll be interesting here is if she has to discard next turn. She evidently does not. Oh, Grimflare. Well, that'll probably precipitate a Wrath effect of some sort, which I don't think she'll counter. She just, well, maybe she will. Maybe she will. It is possible. I do think she kind of got a little robbed in the first game. Well, not robbed, but like she just, you know, I don't think Goldie played that as optimally as it could have been played, and that's kind of frustrating. Yep, and hostilities could be countered, but I don't think we're going to see that. Yeah, she's going to let it happen because like all she has to do is counter his planeswalkers. That's all she has to do. Like, and there are going to be probably less of those than there are counter spells in her deck, and she's going to be patient and just wait. Although she have Mystic Confluence, it's almost about to the point where like you just draw the 3 cards with it. I think. Um, okay, where's the threat? I don't know if she plays swords. Here's another threat. Actually, that threat's good. That is a solid threat. Just takes it. Interesting. There's a 7/8 Goyf. It's about as big as they get. Counter spell of some sort, which I think she just lets happen. Yeah, dissipate. That's fine. I would be a-okay with that. I don't think you counter this, man. I really don't. Unless it's like a confluence and you just draw a bunch of cards. I guess Mana Leak. Mana Leak has lost its luster, so yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Tarmogoyf's no champion here because Core Haven just, blanks it. But I guess you do want multiple threats so you can get in for 4 a turn now, unless he Wraths, which I would not be shocked if he does because he hasn't tried to play a Planeswalker out, and ML sometimes lacks patience as a player, so I think if he had one, he would try to jam it here. Um, could just be an Abrupt Decay. No. Looks like some sort of... Oh, Maelstrom Pulse. Yep, okay. I don't think you counter that. I think you let it happen, and you just play the slow game and grind his clock out and grind his life total out. I don't think he is per se favored here. If he gets an early Planeswalker and she doesn't deal with it, then he can win. But from this position, he's down on cards. Looks like he's casting something else. The Nahiri of the Harbinger, or Binger, I don't know, Harbinger. There's a counter spell that she's had forever. Yeah, kind of guessed that one. Excuse me. Then we're going to see next. A Hymn to Turek to get the last card. Last card is what? Land? Vindicate. Okay. I guess Vindicate to get rid of any Planeswalker threat she plays out. If she gets a Planeswalker down, she's pretty set. Okay, well. she's kind of showing her hand here. She's saying, hey, I got counter magic. Because she's not attacking with Creeping Tar Pit as well. Or maybe she's wanting to bluff it. He's going to prevent the 1 damage here, I assume. Yep. Alright. Yeah, ML, this deck is just annoying. Just an annoying deck. A Mimic of that. The card's actually kind of problematic for her. Unless she has like an artifact-specific piece of removal, like, and she may. She may just have like a pulse or something like that. The card is actually very, very annoying. Now, although attacking with a Dryad Arbor every turn is not my I would not personally measure that as an extremely effective way of winning the game. We'll just get in for 1 down to 17. Leaves up Confluence plus Pierce, because I think she does have Pierce as well. It's quite dead at this point, but I think her hand is Pierce and Confluence. And I wouldn't be shocked if we see nothing at end step. I wouldn't be shocked if she cycles off the Confluence. That's really what I think she's holding. ML is obviously holding random. We don't know. If it's a Wrath, you may just blow it here just to get the Dryad Arbor. Yeah, that's what he drew. Just wants to get the Dryad Arbor underneath the Mimic of that. And I guess you can attack with it. Although she can also just block it with Creeping Tar Pit next turn. It's just like, okay, gotcha. More land. Maybe she doesn't have Confluence. I think by this point I would have cycled it off. It's losing its utility as a counter spell. On this much land, we're going to see a 1/1. So every other turn he can do 1 damage to her. That's kind of where we're at here. I don't see why she wouldn't activate her Creeping Tar Pit. I mean, I guess he could have drawn 1 mana removal, but that seems fairly unlikely. I think she can still play any counter spell she has around it. All right, this is another. All right, yeah, Gideon Azura. Good draw on his part. Well, if she uses Mystic Confluence on this thing, then she has to use it for the full Monty. It has to be 3/3/3, which is not, I think, how she wanted to use it. At this point, I don't think she can be greedy and cycle it off to try to hope to hit other counter magics. The Pierce is just not going to do it. Yep, there you go. So I think the last card in her hand is Pierce at this point. So we're kind of calling them. Let's see if my called shot's right. The last card is Pierce or Snare's already out of the deck. Maybe Mental Misstep. No, I think it's Pierce or Bust. Maybe Force Spike. Pierce, Force Spike, or Misstep are the last couple of cards she's got. Is this a Primeval Titan? No, Thrun. That's a very good one, though. He is very hard to kill. And he cannot be Core Havened, randomly enough. So there's a clock. Can obviously be blocked by Dryad Arbors all day long. So there's that, I suppose. So we're both going for the top deck. She's on Force Spike, Pierce, or Mental Misstep. But for some reason, I think Pierce. Pierce is the one that I think makes the most sense. I'm kind of curious to ask her, actually. Let's see. I hate to bug her when she's playing, but I'm really curious at this point, guys. Because if you haven't been able to tell yet, I am kind of a motor mouth, and I like guessing what people are on. Hidden information is the thing that keeps this game very entertaining for me. And speculating as to what that hidden information may be. Oh, you drew it. Negate? Okay. Well, Wasteland will be Wasteland wouldn't do. I guess actually no. Wasteland would still do it here. Wait, would it? Eh. Okay, an answer. Although in this case, I don't know if Mimic Vat may have been right there. I don't know. It just depends on his top deck. Like if he keeps on top decking like a champ, I mean, he's top decked very well so far. Hasn't missed and just hit a land. She may not have time to tell us. She may be into this game, and I think she's probably fairly tilted because oh, so there's to kill him. I hope he's not. Oh, yeah, she doesn't want to play against this deck. I hate playing against this. This deck's kind of just lame. Plus, it's actually a pain in the ass for her deck. It just takes forever to win because her deck's not fast. It's a mid-range, more of a controlling mid-range build. I could just be dead wrong. Could just be like a land in her hand, but she left that blue open very deliberately when she could have left counterspell open. So I think it's Pierce. Because I think at the time it was having to like stop 4 mana, which means that like she could stop any 3 mana or greater spell, which would have allowed her to stop like 4 drop and 3 drop planeswalkers. It's kind of why I've rationalized it as being that. Um, could be that or Force. I think Force Spike and that have the highest probability. Well, she's gonna clock him, so this is what she's going after. Even if she loses this match, she's trying to clock him out. Um, he's 3 minutes down. This did not work well for me last week because he just had a very stellar draw. I mulled the 5 in the last game. Although he only had like I think like 3.5 or 4 minutes to win with it. But it's not easy to win that fast. Moat, well, that's an annoying card. Very powerful. I think you don't counter this. I don't think you do counter it. I think you just look to eat his clock up. If you have the counter spell, you save it. I don't like countering this. Yeah, I think you let it happen and just say, okay, cool. The Mimic Vat's now irrelevant. Now you need to draw a threat. I'll just counter your threats and eat more of your time up. Wasteland's not bad because if she ever finds a flyer, like a Vendilion Click, she finds Vendilion Click, so that's useless. That's actually a card I loaned him. Um, hmm. What have you got? Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get to see this game. The other game is probably complete by this point, or very close to it. I don't think poor Goldie has much of a chance against this deck. Although it looks like he's giving it a fighting chance. Radiant Flames, yeah, of course. Sweepers, sweepers galore. That game's far less interesting. Like I said, I think it's a lopsided matchup. Um, so I think she has Force Spike, Counterspell, and then I can't really ascertain the last card she has. Um, hmm. Let's see if she answered this. Yeah, Force Spike, some other Counterspell, because she considered the moat. What's her last card? Primetime? Primetime is her draw. She'll get Fairy Conclave, and is there another flying land? That one I can think of. If she runs Dust Bowl, she'd get that. I don't think she runs it, though. I don't think I'd run it in this deck either. Well, maybe better than Phyrexian Tower, I don't know. Okay, a Bojuka Bog. And actually, Polaris Stronghold is not a bad choice either, because she can get back to Glenalandra and start attacking. And she can blow up with the Wasteland, the Korhaven. She's a 2/2 attacker return. That's not bad. Or she can just get back the Jace. Yeah, the Jace is actually also great because if he plays a Planeswalker this turn, she can Maelstrom Pulse it with the Jace and or get a Mystic Confluence back. She still has a counter spell. He should be reading this too. This was draw for the turn. Protect counter spell of some sort. Deprive, negate, dissolve, disallow. Okay. Yep, we kind of knew she had that. Some variety of it, 2 to 3 mana. Hard to tell. So she has one irrelevant and 4 spike. or spell Pierce in hand, unless he taps out for like Villainous Wealth or something like that, or I don't know, whatever. She's doing this upkeep. I think she gets back Jace. I could see Jace because Jace allows Mystic Confluence and Maelstrom Pulse, both of which are very strong. Glenn is also not a bad choice because it just keeps her from dying, and it's a clock. Very slow, albeit, but it is a clock. Although she has to watch her clock as well, like her literal clock. So see Glenn come down. Glenn with Vorax Stronghold is pretty busted against this deck because he runs one creature. And to my knowledge, he probably doesn't run a Fairy Conclave, which means how does he kill her? Probably doesn't. Um, Here, yeah, I get back the Jace, use the Wasteland to blow up the Core Haven, and then just start banging in there. Oh, Baleful Strix. Okay, well, I guess another threat to clock. I kind of like the Jace line, though, because Jace allows you to start blowing up her crap. Although the moat is probably actually doing more for her right now than it is for him. So that's not per se true over a long enough time horizon. Because the Shambling Event really can't attack. And that would free up her Thrun and Prime. Yeah, actually, I kind of liked the Jace better. And the reason being is because like she can two-turn him she can mitigate his draws. He can block with the vent, but I mean like that's a lot of damage coming. That's 10 plus 2 additional man lands off the prime time. That's yucky. So we're seeing here a kill spell of some sort. Something that's probably just not going to happen. Really, it's Wasteland and the Supreme Verdict. I don't know. Yuck. Or like something that she wants to counter with the Glenalandra into Wasteland into Supreme Verdict. Yeah, Vorsh almost would be a problem for him. I run that in my bug deck as well. I've never understood the tower. The Freshing Tower is an interesting one to me. Um, well, hey guys, I think I have to start getting ready, so I'm going to stop the dialogue for a bit and Collective Brutality. Meh. No, Abrupt Decay. I thought he really wants to Abrupt Decay anything on this board. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to get ready right now, so I'll be right back, and then we're gonna probably have to cut it here pretty soon, and then this will just be the video for this week. Um, and honestly, with the limited amount of players, we probably could have played this week, but I just, I didn't know I was gonna be going to pick this person up, and I didn't want to run the risk. Yeah, that's one thing I forgot about. That doesn't work, man. You just lost it. You want to get back. That's actually a thing I forgot about. You do want to get back the it's active player, so you want to cast on hit her turn. So you actually do want to get back. She doesn't do it. You want to get back the Jace and get rid of that Mimic Vat. The Moat is good. It's actively good for her right now. Do the 2. All right, I gotta change, guys. Hey guys, back here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here in like 2 to 3 minutes. And we'll have to leave it as an unknown, or you have to check Gatling to figure out who won this. I think she could have optimized this line a bit by using the Jace Vryn's Prodigy. Um, yeah, because I think Maelstrom pulsing the Mimic Vat is actually essential because she's gonna get up on cards this way here. Those two, although I don't think he's played this correctly, but hey, whatever. I think attacking with one of them was fine, but I think he wanted to, or she wanted to, or he wanted to block comeuppance. That's moderately annoying, but at the end of the day, irrelevant. Well, I guess not, because it's going to go to the Mimic Vat now. It could. I would presume. Okay. Chromatic Lantern. Just get back Jace, man. That's honestly, you just want to get the Jace back, and then you get a Maelstrom Pulse in there. Just blow up that damn vat. And then you're soaring to victory, I think. Um, find another way to deal with the moat. Or no, you know what? I'm totally off. I'm sorry. So you abrupt decay the vat, uncounterable, and then you go for a Maelstrom Pulse eventually on the moat and attack him for lethal. Yeah, that's what I like. I think that Jace Fringe Prodigy is actually very relevant. She's not going to go for it though. I don't know why. Maybe she just wants to burn his clock out, but her clock is not a lot ahead right now. Could just one shot him. Hmm. And what is this? Electrolyze? No, nothing. Okay. Well, guys, I gotta go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video series. Sorry for truncating it so abruptly, but I do have other obligations, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Matches were pretty cool, rather rapid, because we didn't have a lot of players this week, and I wasn't playing myself, obviously. But I hope the commentary was at least insightful. We were able to guess a few cards correctly, and I still don't know what her last couple cards were because I don't think she had time to reply to me, or she probably didn't see the message more than likely. Looks like Shug dropped. Um, and we'll have to find out later if we're correct or not because I am curious, as they say. Okay, guys, have a good one.